Yo, what's going on, people? This is me, Troy Curry 14. I'm back for episode number 7 of my Madden Ep.7 Connected Franchise Mode. I'm the manager of the Cleveland Browns, and this is week number 7 of the 2016-2017 NFL regular season. I will be taking on the Cincinnati Bengals today. I'm sitting in practice today, as always. Here's the training recap. On offense, we worked on the deep pass, specifically a PA Power O play. And then on defense, we worked on pass defense, cover 2. And then, as always, Corey Coleman, Menu Agba, and Cody Castle increased the overall. I was going to trade away Colin Kaepernick for A.J. McCarron, but they did not want him, so I'm not going to do that. If you want me to trade anyone for anyone, make sure to tell me in the comments. But for now, I like my team the way it is. As you see here, we're offering Stephen P.A. a contract, and we'll see if he accepts in a little while. Britton Colquitt, our starting punter, I'll offer him a contract, and that's about all we have to do, I believe, for contracts. And 2 more players want to do contracts too. Let me see here. Ed Reynolds, number 2nd. He's our free safety. We're giving him a contract offer. And then last but not least, Jordan Poyer, the free safety on our team, also was re-signed. So both of these are re-signed, and then the other 2 are still deciding. So I believe that's all we have to do for that, and yes, it is. A couple of things we have to do before we jump into the game. As always, scout. These are our scouting points. A new thing introduced to Madden 17 here. So we're continuing where we left off from last episode. Last episode we took an L. Oh wait, no we didn't. That was the week before. We took an L to the Patriots. But last week we won to someone. I can't remember. I think it was the Dolphins or I don't know. I can tell you in just a second. Survey says we beat the Titans 37-16 last week, and then we're also continuing a little road trip today in downtown Cincy. So, right before I jump into the game, nothing at all. No differences on offense or defense or special teams or practice squad or any of that. So nothing has changed. I always like to use the same playbooks. So as you see here, we're taking on the Bengals today, and then I'm taking on the Jets and Cowboys both at home, and we're still the worst team in our division, which really sucks, but hopefully we can make that change. I always like to play before game. ESPN on tonight, no doubleheader, just a regular, just one game on tonight. It's the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs. Make sure to tune into that at 6:30, not 5 p.m., at 6:30 today, and watch that. I'm gonna be watching that too. That's gonna be a good game. And then of course March Madness stuff. That's Saturday, Final 4. I believe it's Oregon and Gonzaga, and then South Carolina or North Carolina, something like that. I probably messed that up, but whatever. NFL draft starts in about a month. I will not be playing 2K right now. I'm going to be doing that later. I will be just doing Madden for now. I will give you an update once I can play 2K soon. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram at Trey Carey, TreyCary. Also on Twitter at TheRealTreyCary, TheRealTreyCary. Make sure to like the live stream, comment if you want me to change anything. Of course, subscribe if you're enjoying my content. As always, I'll see you guys at the half. Let's see if we can win tonight. Let's get it. Peace.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We have a couple of confident teams coming into today's game. Both walked off the field with victories last time out. It's the Browns going up against the Bengals. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are in the place the folks here call the Jungle, and that's Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week, they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by a 2-time Pro Bowler in his 6th season. It's Andy Dalton.
And in 2015, prior to hurting his thumb and being unable to finish the season, you just heard his teammates rave about Andy Dalton's jump in leadership, where he actually took over the team, really assumed the role of being the starting quarterback, and carried himself that way as well.
A first carry down for Rex Burkhead. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And here's the offensive unit, and we highlight a very good guy, A.J. Green.
Let's just make it simple. He's a game breaker.
Second down, Dalton. Now they go screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
If your day involves blocking Danny Shelton, you better pack lunch and dinner. It's an all-day job.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
Again, they run with Burkhead. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Dalton now to pass. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback out of Nevada. It's Colin Kaepernick.
Began 2015 as the unquestioned starting quarterback for San Francisco. Had a really rough game against the Arizona Cardinals and lost his job, and later ended the season having shoulder surgery. He's looking for a big bounce back in 2016.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To throw, Kaepernick dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
It's a nice catch there by Gary Barnidge, and there's no getting around it. The emergence of him has been nothing short of stunning, hasn't it?
Yeah, first 6 years, total 44 catches. Then at age 30 last year, he goes for 79.
Who says you don't get better with age?
And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Here's Kaepernick to throw. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And trying to give a lift to this offense today will be the Duke, the former Cane, Duke Johnson.
Comes from a great tradition of runners at Miami of Florida. He's one of the best ones we've seen in recent years.
And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Kaepernick going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. Now 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Brandon Fields to kick this one away. Back deep for the Bengals, Adam Jones. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
He completes it to Boyd, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And able to find Green. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Dalton sets up play action. He's got time in the pocket. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. So an even first quarter on the scoreboard, but the threat of points on the horizon. 0-0 our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On the run, it's Burkhead. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Rex Burkhead hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are in for 6. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now, last year for Duke Johnson, 104 carries. Was kind of held back, though, by that hamstring.
If he's healthy, that number will be eclipsed big time this year. They want to give him some work.
Yeah, 3 down back in Miami. Think he's being groomed for that in Cleveland?
No question about it. They want to make sure they control the football, and he will be a big key to getting it done. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Underneath for Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And this is brought in by Pryor. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down, and that's what he just did.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Now Kessler throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Kessler, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. On comes Josh Brown for the field goal try.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
They'll run. This is Burkhead. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen? And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Browns' new signee from the Jets, Demario Davis, in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. 2nd down, Dalton caught Eifert over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Surveying the field. And that's complete to LaFell. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2nd down following the run.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost, and now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find.
And he's got it. Touchdown. Bengals. Tyler Eifert, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point kicker. Exactly. He'll put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Kessler on 1st down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would because if they were confident enough to do...
Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down now after the pass completion. They send Green to the left on his own. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From midfield here, Dalton. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 3rd and 5. Dalton off play action. He's got time. Looking deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now it's Kessler. Screenplay, Johnson. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody that has that ability, they want them on their team.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They're throwing again. Kessler. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half.
Wow, right away to end off the half. I'm really frustrated right now. 3 points is not something I want, but I'm not losing terribly. Yeah, not the best play to call right there. I should have taken a field goal, but it is what it is. Halftime here in Cincinnati, down by 11. Yeah, I'm struggling right now. Only 3 rush yards. I'm dominating in passing yards, 181, and 0 takeaways. Here's a highlight from them. Rushing touchdown right up the middle. They take the lead 7-0. Rex Burkhead, a touchdown on the day. Highlight from them. I sacked them, and that's it for them. But they, of course, got a first down off of that. Yeah, tough half, but another highlight from them. Andy Dalton passing to the end zone, and he scored the touchdown. I was too late to close out, and that's how they capitalized. Another highlight from them. I should have scored right there, but I didn't, and thankfully he didn't score. But yeah, it is what it is. Thankfully I get balls. See you guys at the end of the game. Peace.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it?
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And now it's Kessler. Pryor has it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Kessler looks to throw on second down. Caught left side. It's Barnage. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a hunting down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is Kessler. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Burkhead. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker.
Trying to get it to LaFell, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Looking left side, and it's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 yards to go here on 3rd down. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Kessler throwing now. And that will be incomplete as well.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So it's a third field goal for him now, and he's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive...
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty.
And you notice how the offensive line responded. A couple went to check on the quarterback, and a couple went to the guy who hit the quarterback. No one likes to see their quarterback hit.
They'll run now with Burkhead. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the fourth. They look to throw on third with Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now Kessler. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I got to get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football. And
defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
23 yards on the play.
Well, it's real easy to ascertain that in the game plan, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green was deemed vital.
And it certainly was the focal point of the defense. They just had trouble with it. Most teams do.
Well, that just tells you how good it is. These guys have grown together, coming into the Bengals, getting together early, and continuing to get better. Doesn't matter what defense is put out there. They feel like they have an answer for it.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play. We said plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
To throw here, Dalton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Dalton now to pass. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. Kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They come out here in the eye. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st and 10, here's Kessler. It's caught. It's Barnage over the middle. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude. This
rush coming, and he's taken down. Vincent Ray from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. And quickly, they get to the line. On 3rd and goal, Kessler. That's caught at the 2. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Cody Kessler with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. 4th and goal, and they just tell the leader of this offense to sneak it in there, and he got it done.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is follow the wedge that's created in front of you. Center, guards, tackles. Just get low, fire out, and you get low right behind them and get it over the goal line.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Blue 10. Blue 10. 56. 56 right there.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
Throwing, Dalton, his throw incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Finding time. And over the middle, it's LaFell. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Let's discuss now this performance as it relates to the last one. You know, a week ago, and we saw it. Some pinpoint accuracy. He's displaying that again.
That was a fun film session for us, wasn't it? We were able to kick back and watch him work, and what we saw was a competent leader, a guy in control, making excellent throws at times, and he's brought that with him in this ball game as well. And I'm starting to think that he's starting to feel like, yeah, I've got this thing down pat, and I think the team will come along with him.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 4th down. So a big kick coming for Cundiff.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Cundiff able to knock it through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So now then, it's a big kick there to get this game back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal could still do you in.
Brandon, we're going to see right here. I would expect that after the kickoff, this offense is going to come out throwing. So those first few plays are going to be the key.
And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop any defensively. 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
To throw is Kessler. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Brandon Fields now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. They get out of bounds, that allows them to...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, time not on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
Wide 20, 55, 20.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. And to give this time to the tailback. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And he's able to get it out of there. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. A very good return that time. 18 yards. Now the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And the Browns getting set to go. They are in field goal range here already. How do you handle this situation, tie game?
In a perfect scenario, you want to find a way to get the ball to the proper spot for you.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. again, it's Johnson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Browns are going to win the
That's going to do it here from downtown Cincinnati. Game-winning field goal. Awesome performance today. Really sluggish in the beginning, but we barely got the win here. Excellent performance in the end. A very sluggish start, went into the half, down 14-3, but I put in Kessler once again, and he did his thing, man. He scored 2 touchdowns, I believe, and we barely win this game. So a lot of work to do. I felt like I should have lost, but we barely won that game. Yeah, hats off to Cincinnati for the amazing game today, but we took that one just barely. When I say barely, I mean barely took that one. Yeah, a lot of work to do, but we barely edged this out. Here you see here, 365 passing yards, 40 rushing yards, 7.3 average yards per play, and we both have 2 takeaways. So that will close out our road trip. We are going to be at home to face someone else next week. So, Cody Kessler, 64.8 completion percentage, 347 yards and 1 touchdown. Andy Dalton, 66.6 completion percentage, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's going to do it for week number 7. We are moving right along here in the 2016-2017 NFL regular season. I barely get that win, and that was a good win. We should have lost that game, but thankfully we didn't. We came through in the clutch. We were down by like 11 at the end of the 3rd, and we went on that crazy run, and we just barely get that win. So all of these players increased, as you see. I will be spending the XP at the end of the season, so that means that week 7 is done. I did all the actions this week so I can simulate to next week. Week 7 is done. It is finished. I have defeated the team, and that's the end of that. So week 8, I will be playing the New York Jets. That shouldn't be that hard of a competition. So we barely get that win last week, and then we play the Cowboys at home. Great win today. We are still the bottom of our division, but it is what it is. I'm going to save this bad boy real quick. Last reminder here, make sure to tune in to ESPN right now to watch the Spurs and the Warriors face off, West Coast Showdown. And then tune in tomorrow. I believe TNT will have some more NBA games. I mean, of course, Final Four, College Saturday. Make sure to tune into that. Don't know if the teams will announce it Monday. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video. Comment if you want me to change anything. Subscribe if you're enjoying my content. And last but not least, follow me on Instagram at Trey Carey, TreyCary. Also on Twitter at The Real Trey Carey, TheRealTreyCary. That's going to do it. See you guys on Monday for week number 8. I'll see you guys then. Peace out. Go Cavs.